Hi guys, I am going to be talking about how I got my job, how I like my job, and some tips and tricks about being a waitress. So if you're interested, just keep watching. First of all, I wanted to make this video because when I first started out, I was looking all over the internet and YouTube and everything about some tips and tricks about being a waitress and how it was and how to get the job. And there wasn't really much information out there, so I hope this video can help you guys out. So first of all, I've been waitressing for about September, October, November, December, January, February, for about 6 months now. And I'm a waitress at an Asian restaurant, and that's all I'm going to say. I don't want to say like what it is or where I am or anything. And how I got the job. I got the job I didn't get the job off of Craigslist, but I saw it off of Craigslist. There's actually a bunch of jobs advertisements on Craigslist, so I would definitely recommend looking there. It was one of my last resorts, but I was really surprised at how many job offers are on Craigslist, especially in the food industry. I wanted it because I had heard that being a waitress or a server in a restaurant gives really, really good money for the amount of hours you work. So for example, I work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings, and it's about 25 hours per 2 weeks, and I would make like about 400 maybe for those 2 weeks, so I get paid every 2 weeks. That's the bad thing about where I work. Most places cash out their employees every night, but where I work we get 2 checks every month. And I wanted this job for the money. I am in college. I go to community college right now, and I do hold a job at the school as a student assistant, but I wanted some extra dough because I eventually want to transfer out, and I needed a job that would pay me a lot and would be compatible with my school schedule. So I would work my school job on the weekdays and go to class on the weekdays, and then on the weekends I would work at the restaurant. I also want to add that it took me about maybe 2 weeks of actually really searching for a waitress job to actually get a job. I applied to a few places. I would just go to the restaurant during their slower hours, like in the afternoon around maybe 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And what the problem was that they wanted someone with experience, and I had absolutely no experience in the food industry. And usually to be a waitress they want, for example, 6 months of you having worked as a waitress before, or maybe in the food industry before, but I had not, so it was really, really difficult to get a job in one of the more popular chain restaurants. I did interview with some people, and they wanted to do more of the hostess position, which I didn't want because they're usually minimum wage, and the point of my job search was to be a waitress to get money. As far as the interviews, they went like they typically would go even if it wasn't a restaurant job. So they'd ask why you wanted the job, what are your qualifications. They asked me my schedule first of all, and then they would say, oh, well, you work at another job and you go to school too, so I don't know if we can hire you, because honestly it's really hard, especially the training part. A lot of the bigger chain restaurants want you to train for at least 2 weeks, and they want like a continuous training span. So they want you to be available for like 5 days straight, for example. And I just couldn't do that because of school and work. I guess what I'm trying to say is that you should be persistent and don't stop trying to look for the job that you want. And also, don't let age matter, because I was 18 when I first started in September, and then in January I turned 19. So you could I've seen like servers that are like 16, 17 years old. So it really depends. When I finally got the job, I started training, and for me, training lasted for about 2 weeks, and during that time, I got paid minimum wage, and after that, it was the $2.50 or $2.15 per hour that it is, and the tips that you get. And now I guess I can tell you about how it is to be a waitress. It's really, really hard. At first, when I started working, I had no idea what I was doing because I've never done it before. It was so difficult, and at times I wanted to break down because it was just so demanding. There's a lot of really nice people and there's a lot of really mean people. It really depends. You get your mix. And what I do, I luckily don't have to carry any food or anything. Usually you think that a waitress brings food to your table, but what I do is I just take the order and bring drinks over and make drinks sometimes. And we actually have some back waiters and food runners where I work, so they bring the food out and give it to the people. A lot of the times people say that they're ready, and then after 15 minutes, I'm still standing there hovering above them, trying to understand what they want to order, because they actually were not ready, and they just felt like they needed my presence there to decide what they wanted. And I think one of the most important things, if I could give one tip, it would be to memorize the menu, know it like the back of your hand, because people will ask you so many questions. Some other advice would be to always write down what people order or anything extra that they want to get. If they want to get a drink with no ice, or if they want to not have peas and carrots in their soup. Another tip would be to have a close friendship with the people working in the kitchen if you can, like the cooks and the back waiters. Because if you made a mistake and you need them to get something out real quick for you, or to fix something real quick, you want to have a good communication so that you can get that out and they can help you out and you won't look as bad. I would also recommend to always pre-bus your tables, meaning that if people are done with some of their dishes and the plates are empty, just take them out even before they're ready to leave, or they've paid the check or asked for the check, because you want to help out your busboys, and the quicker that they can leave, the quicker that you get your money, and the quicker that you can seat more people to get more money. Also, don't be afraid to ask all the other waiters and waitresses for help. I don't know if I'm lucky or if it's probably like this in all other restaurants, but we all have each other's backs, and whenever we need someone to get something for us or to check on something or to do something, you just ask them and they're ready to do it, and I'm ready to do it for them. It feels extremely terrible when people are rude and mean and don't know what they're doing. They're just crazy. But it's also very incredibly rewarding when people are super nice and they leave you notes and everything and tell you that they really appreciate what you do. You really take it to heart and you really feel like a better person. To say the least, being a waitress has been one of the most eye-opening experiences of my life, and I would have never known what was going on in the restaurant really had I not started this job. And it's one of the best experiences because I've learned a lot about myself and about other people, and I've made really, really awesome friends that I became super close with by just working like 6 months with them, and I would not trade this experience for anything. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you guys took something from it, and I hope I helped some people out there.